Hello, hello. Welcome back to Melon Live. We're back again. New exciting updates. Got some cool stuff going on with Melon. Hope you guys have been having a great week since last week. I'm excited. This week we're going to talk about new features. And then the main point that I really want to talk to you guys about is tips for creating a smooth stream. Coming from somebody who's streamed a lot, messed up a lot, learned a bunch of stuff, and now I stream every Friday, and then I stream on the weekends also. So I feel like I got a perspective, and I can kind of give some people some advice on stuff that I've learned, and hopefully that'll help you guys in the process of having a smooth stream and places where I kind of messed up at. And so that's the main thing I want to focus on. And we have a couple people in the chat. Free Agent says, can you show us how to do picture-in-picture for live reactions? Oh, okay. So let me show you. So if you share, one way that you could do this, right? So if I share my screen like this, to me, this is kind of like what the reactions are, right? It's me at the bottom corner, and then I can just react to the content. So you could have the same layout for video. You could do the same layout for your browser. So to me, that would be the best way to do that. And all you have to do is while you're in the actual Melon studio, if you share your screen at the bottom, there'll be different little profile ratios, and I could switch from here to over here. So you can kind of change up how your stream looks, how your reactions are, and that way people can kind of see. I kind of like this setup, actually. This is a pretty cool one. I might actually use this one. It's pretty cool, but I want you guys to see. Tamay, hope I said your name right. Hello, greetings. And then Free Agent says, and when you guys going to add the hex input? So that has been a feature that's been requested a lot. When we did the Melon redesign, that was something that people brought up. So I know, I can't say exactly when, but I know it's something that's the community's brought up, and we've discussed and everybody's working on. So I know that that's something that's possibly coming fairly soon. I know it's important to you guys. So we're always here, trying to improve, trying to make things better. So appreciate the feedback. Please stay tuned, and I'll make sure I update the community and socials when those changes do happen. And speaking of changes, we have a new change, which I kind of showed you while I was showing the screen share, is the Trovo support. So Trovo is, to me, it reminds me of Twitch. It's a new streaming platform, primarily right now for gaming, but my understanding is they're really leaning towards the just chatting, right? Which is growing on Twitch, a lot of reactions, a lot of different stuff. And so now we have a native integration with Trovo. So you could stream straight from Melon, you could add that destination, and you could add that to your list of places that you're streaming all at once. To me, the great thing about this and why it's so important is just like with TikTok, right? Anytime you see a new platform that's starting to grow and pick up momentum, you want to be early on that platform, right? You want to try to get in there as soon as possible and add it to your workflow, because all the people who took TikTok seriously a year ago are so far ahead of everybody who's jumping in right now. And it's so much easier when the platform is growing. So I would look into Trovo if you're doing like gaming kind of stuff. If you're looking doing more like just chatting reaction videos, look into Trovo. It's a great destination to add and expand your audience. And it doesn't hurt anything. If I'm already streaming, I might as well add as many destinations as possible so I can get as many possibilities for views and different stuff like that. So check out Trovo. The new Trovo support is here. And here's the article. It shows a step-by-step of how to set it up, how to get to everything. It's super easy. All you got to do is create a Trovo account. And then in Melon, you could add the destination here. And then so once you add it here, it'll be in the list of destinations that you always could select to go live. You could do pre-recorded videos with Trovo. You could do live videos. So super easy, great to add to your workflow and your creative process, and more eyes on your content. Free Agent asks hotkeys. So hotkeys was another thing when we did the redesign. All of this has to change because the way I believe, again, I'm not a developer, but the way that the hotkeys function before doesn't apply because of the redesign. And again, it's one of those things that I would expect to update very soon. Melon, I will say, since I've been here, they update so much. I'm here. I'm working with them, and I'm surprised by how many updates. And I really enjoy that because it's like, my job as the community manager is to see what you guys are asking for, what needs you guys need met, and then communicate that to the team so they can create it. So it's always something new going out. And like I said, the redesign is just the first step. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's coming with it, and I would say just stay tuned for that. Any updates on adding your own sounds instead of generic ones? That is a very good question. I do enjoy, the reactions are great, but I can see why you would want to add your own just to give you your own personality. I'm not sure on time frame, but what I'll do is I'm going to screenshot this again, and I'm going to add that to the suggestions again, just to show the community wants that, and that's something that's a priority for you guys, and submit that to the team. I think that's a great idea, actually. So today we're going to talk about creating a smooth live stream. If you guys saw the first stream I did when I came to Melon, horrible. Was not good at all, right? I was nervous. I thought I was prepared. I was not prepared enough. But that's part of it. You're not going to figure out these things until you go through it. So part of having a smooth stream is just practice, consistency, working through the kinks. Now I feel much better speaking about Melon, being on camera about certain aspects, and talking confidently. Let me take this off the screen. So I feel a lot better about these things, and I've worked out a lot of the kinks that I was running into at the very beginning, right? So when you're creating the show, you want to make sure that it has a flow to it. It's kind of concise. You have an agenda, and you just kind of know where you're going. It doesn't have to be exactly laid out. For me, if it's not enough information, I do bad. And if it's too much information, like if I had a bunch of paragraphs telling me what to do, I probably wouldn't do good on live stream, right? So for me, the best way to do it is prepare. I create outlines about what the show is going to be about, and I kind of break them up into sections. So I have like intro, overview, why this is important, the lesson, here's the tips, and then here's the recap, outro, right? So that's the way my format for this live show is, and it's going to evolve and change over time. I'm going to add new stuff, but I try to think of everything like segments. Like you think of a TV show, it's going to be pretty much the same kind of segments. Podcasts a lot of times have the same segments over and over. Radio, same segments, right? Because that's what people grow to love for it. They're looking forward to this new segment. Like Jimmy Kimmel has that segment where it's like they prank, I believe it's Jimmy Kimmel, I might be wrong, might be Fallon. One of those has the thing where they trick the kids about the Halloween, and that one specific thing is such a segment. It took a life of its own. So that's kind of how you want to brand everything. Each little part, to me, I like making sections. Even if you're not overly branding them, it's easy to kind of group it and come up with content, right? Preparation is key. So you want to make sure that before you're going live, you have some sort of idea of where you're going. Again, everything doesn't have to be super polished. You have liberty to freestyle. If you guys ask a question, it changes the flow of everything. But that's the great part of live streaming, right? It's the interaction, the spontaneity of it, just the interaction and building a connection with people. So to me, that's what I like about it. So you want to, understand what kind of brand you have. So that way you can kind of associate that to the segments, right? If you're doing, if your brand is more about interviewing and, Q&As, then your segment is going to be one way. If it's more about product and promoting your business, you want to set your segments up a different way. So understanding what kind of stream business that you want to portray is going to help a lot. One thing to keep everything moving smooth is having like how I had the screen share videos. If I'm displaying a new feature, I already have those prepped and kind of put before I even go live, right? Because I knew that I was going to have to talk about Trovo. I knew I was going to have to talk about certain things. I already have them queued up. So as soon as it's time, I can just go, right? And that's going to be super important because live streaming, I don't want to say it's hard, but it's a lot of things coming at you at once. You got the chat coming at you. You got to remember what you're saying. You're looking at different screens, right? So you want to try to keep it as organized and simple as possible. So you don't, for me, I get in my own way. I'll pick up the wrong mouse. Like this is my other computer's mouse all the time. I pick this up while I'm streaming here, right? So I've learned to put this way over there so I don't get in the way. I've learned to always kind of add the background music I'm going to use, the videos, any screen sharing. I set that up before I go live. So that moment is super easy. I've had moments where I didn't do that and it didn't go as smooth. So just understanding where you want to go, having a plan of action. This is kind of the field that I want the stream to be. It's going to help tremendously. And then if you want just everything to kind of flow a little smoother, I would use intros and outros. To me, that's been a big help. I know some people say they don't like the countdown timer, which I get, because basically the first couple seconds, it could be used to promote and you want to catch people's attention, which I understand. But also with Melon, it's super easy to add your own video. So you can create your own intro. The main thing for me, why I like having the intros and outros, is it adds consistency. And then it gives you, for me, it gives me a little break to take a deep breath, get prepared, rather than just pressing the button and boom, you're live. It gives me a little second. Okay, let me gather myself. Let me get focused. Let me lock in here. And then boom, we can go live. So to me, intros and outros help tremendously. I really enjoy having those in there. And I'm getting some custom ones made for Melon. So I'm excited. I'll be glad when those get done. It's going to be cool. It's going to look really good in the stream. Turn these speakers down in the back. Okay. And then you would want to make sure you have call to actions, directing people there, just to, again, have these things prepped. If you're promoting a product, know that you're going to promote this product so you can tie everything back in. A lot of times, if you guys ask a question and then it's something I'm discussing, I try to figure out how I could relate it, and already have that plan. Okay, go here to check out this news. Go here if you want to sign up for this. So another important thing is when you're streaming with a guest, right? The more variables you add, the more complex. I don't want to say complex because it's not hard. I don't want to say hard, but it adds more things to keep up with, right? So with your guests, you want to make sure they understand the audio. You want to make sure the webcam is set up, headphones, whatever stuff you need to do. You want to try to prep that first, and get that kind of going and understand that that's going to add to the workflow and the smoothness of the stream. And just make sure, again, they know what's going on, because you don't want to get in the stream and then the guest is kind of confused about how things go, or you don't know how you want to switch and take people off the camera and all that stuff. So I try to work through all of that stuff a little bit beforehand. So at least I have an idea. Okay, cool. We're going to talk about this segment. I'm going to switch over here, share my screen. I'm going to add the guest back, and then we're going to do a Q&A. So when you have that idea, it's easy to kind of flow. And make sure you structure and you take breaks to answer questions. To me, it was one of the most important things for live streaming, is the interaction between the audience. That's what's going to make or break you. So make sure that if it's questions in the chat, you use the chat highlight feature, like I could do here, where I just selected the hello all. Great way to showcase and then add to the conversation. Excuse me. And then for a great tip for me that I found helpful when doing interviews, live streams, is I always have backup like questions or conversations, right? I always have 2 or 3 questions that I might not use, but if I run out of stuff to talk about, topics, I always can go to these couple of questions that will give me more time. Especially if you have a guest on, it's not always going to be a smooth transition. People sometimes talk over each other because they don't know the feel and the pace, So when it's something that's like awkward happens, or you need to kind of switch the pace of things, having these things to break up the room, is it's very important. It helps a lot. So you can kind of gather yourself and get things back focused, because it's going to happen. Live streaming stuff is going to go wrong. Something's going to, you're going to forget something. It happens. It's part of what it is. But the key is understanding how to roll with the punches and adjust to whatever that is. And if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know where you guys are from. So a few tips for keeping an engaged stream. Use Melon. I mean, first of course, obviously, but use videos to keep people encouraged, right, and engaged. If it's a new feature, I'll record a video showing and talking through it sometimes, and then on the stream, like I did last week, I'll play it, and that way it breaks up. So it's not just me talking on camera. It's not that. It's different little segments that kind of break up, and it's in and out, and it kind of keeps people engaged. You can't just sit here and talk. And I know some people that talk and don't do any of the video breaks, but you got to make sure that you're engaged with the chat, and you're really in there. It's your personality. But using videos, using screen share, using reactions is a great way to kind of break up everything and just use some of the tools that's really handy to your advantage. And it'll help with retention, your watch time. All of those things will start going up because your stream is more engaging. Kodo says, hi, hello, how are you doing today? Where are you from? Oh, Johannesburg, South Africa. I've heard it's beautiful out there. I would love to visit one day. What kind of content do you make? I would love to know. So a lot of times I try to, it's person to person. I like to sometimes engage in the questions while the stream is going on, but a lot of times between segments, I'll make sure I take a break. I'm talking to the chat, asking people, different questions just to get some engagement there. You don't want the people to feel left out. That's super, super important, especially if you're keeping your stream going smooth, because to me, it's easier when people are in the chat. When people are in the chat and they're responding, it's way easier to me than when it's nobody talking. To me, then I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on? But when I see the chat moving, I'm like, okay, cool. We got conversation going. Going live more often gives you better chances to understand what's going on. Just like every week I'm here, Fridays, 1 o'clock. This is a holiday. I'm here streaming, right? So all of those, every time I stream, it's like I learned something new. Okay, cool. I could do this better here. I can adjust this. I can adjust this. And soon it's going to be better, even better. So look back at what you've done. Watch your previous streams. Sometimes I hate watching my own self. It feels weird to me. But for improvement, just like basketball players, football players, they watch their footage and they're like, oh, I should do this. I should look at the camera more. I should do this more. It helps. Especially if you really, to me, that's one of those few things that can really take your content, because it's like in the moment, it's one thing, but going back and looking and seeing yourself and how you react to different stuff, and maybe it's you want to talk louder, or maybe you need to show more energy. All of these things you get from looking back at your previous ones, so you can kind of figure out how to adjust. Pre-recorded videos also good for just keeping everything smooth because it's already done. So you could share videos like I've done, like I have this loaded up right here, but like, just like how I switched to that, you could share a video that way, but also with Melon, say you have a 30-minute video that's already done that you want to broadcast to all your destinations, you could schedule that also, right? And to me, it gets different. It's a different reaction, right? I feel like with content, you need short form content, you need live streaming, and then you need that long form content, right? To me, that's the pillars of content, right? That's every platform has those three things. If you look at Instagram, they have Reels. They used to have IGTV, but they just combine everything. So that's the short and long form, and then live streaming, right? YouTube, same way. YouTube Shorts, short form, YouTube, long form, then streaming. That, to me, that's the pillar, right? And by using the Melon features, you can get to all of those very easily. The long form, of course, live streaming. Pre-recorded is kind of in that middle. It's like, okay, cool. It's a long form video that people can watch and go back to. And then the short form, you could take the recordings and create clips from them using local recording. So it's a bunch of different ways that you can create a massive amount of content off of doing one thing. And you'll see a lot of marketers talk about this. Like Gary Vee talks about this a lot. Russell Brunson, all of the big marketers, they talk about creating one long form and then one live stream and then breaking that up into a long form video and then short form video. So you'll see that common thing done a lot. And to me, it's just an easier workflow. You could really work hard on one thing instead of being spread thin, trying to do a bunch of different ones. You could do this one piece of content and then multiply it. So you want to blend the different kinds of content, right? So that, to me, is going to open you up to be found more. You'll get more viewers, more live streamers when if you're just live streaming, you're only limiting yourself to that one thing, right? But if you're live streaming and then you're using recording and you're downloading and then you're uploading that to YouTube and then you're taking those clips and you put them on TikTok, your chances for discoverability, people falling in love with your content, knowing you, is going to go up tremendously, right? So again, it's using the content that you create and trying to maximize it. I'm always looking at a way to create more content and get the most out of it, right? So that's what I would look forward to. And make sure, don't get caught up on trying to be perfect. It's not going to happen. To me, it's just 80%. If you can get to 80%, that's great. It's always going to be something that you could do better. It's always going to be something, but don't let that hold you back from starting. Like I said, my first couple streams, not great. Not great at all. But it helped me, because then I was like, okay, I could do this better. I could do this better. And now I feel like I'm doing much better. And then from here, it's going to keep getting much better and much better. So the more you practice, the more often you go live, the more consistent you are, the better your flow, the smoother your streams are going to go, because you're going to work out all the kinks, right? And one thing that people do is when they say they post content, they'll go live while they do that, so they could direct traffic from that post and that live stream to the new content, right? So it's a good way that you can kind of tie everything together. So if you put out a new product, you got a new YouTube video that just dropped, I will stream that same day, so you can garner your audience and get them to go watch that video. And again, you'll see that a lot on TikTok. A lot of people, when you see the TikTok lives, it's because they just put out a bunch of new content and then they'll go live on TikTok and it'll help them increase their views, because now more people know who they are and more people are seeing them. So then they're naturally curious. They go to the content. And if you guys have questions, let me know in the chat, please. I'm here to help. If I don't have the answer, I will find out for you. I will ask somebody at Melon that knows. I'm more on the marketing side. So when it comes to more of the tech stuff, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. But that's why it's a lot of smart people on Melon that understand the developer side. And, I'm more than happy to ask different things for you guys if I don't know. Yeah, so if you guys have questions, let me know. And I would love to know what kind of content you guys make. How do you use Melon? Because it's always cool seeing it. It's so many different ways people are using Melon and so much content being created. To me, it's so cool because you see so many different perspectives of the world, and you see so many just different voices and hobbies and stuff that I didn't even know existed, and so it's cool being able to see that, and then people being able to showcase their talents and their ideas. So to me, that's why I really fell in love with live streaming. It's just a great way to kind of get your voice and your audience out there, especially on the marketing end. So next week, I'm going to figure out a couple things. I know lighting has been a topic that people want to hear about. I just got to figure out how to showcase that. It's one of those things that I feel like you need to kind of show. So I need to either create some graphics or a video or something like that, and then show that. So lighting might be a topic. And I got a couple other ideas for next week that I'm going to do. And again, I'm also going to interview some people from the community. That's a big thing that I really want to do, because I want to showcase some of these great live streams, put some more eyes on you guys, try to use the Melon platform to help other people, see what's going on. And hopefully you guys can give some information to other aspiring people that's going to, help them out. Are you planning to invite guests to your show? How would you use it and set up the studio? Yes. So with Melon, it's super easy to add people to the studio. So I'm going to just, if you on the left, if you add a guest, click the button, it'll give you a link. So what we're going to do, I got some questions lined up for different people. And we're going to get them in the studio, ask different questions. Hopefully people give some great tips and gems of how they use it. It's been a lot of interesting people. It's Vermont Paint. I'm forgetting the full name. I'm sorry, Vermont Paint. But I remember they were saying how consistently they streamed, and it was a crazy amount of days. I want to say it was almost a year, but it was over 100 days that they streamed consistently every day. And I would love to interview people like that, because then you doing something every day, you're going to find out so many little shortcuts and ways to improve that in that amount of time. So I'm guessing they have some really great information that can help other people in the community. And if you guys haven't, please join the Melon Facebook community. The Facebook community has a bunch of very smart people using Melon just like yourselves. And they're using it in their everyday workflow, and everybody helps each other. Everybody gives advice. If you guys have questions on a feature, or if I'm not live and you guys got a question, ask in the Facebook community. I'm there every day. Well, Monday through Friday, I'm answering. And on the weekends, my friend Jeff is there answering. So we're here to help answer any questions, give any feedback that we can. So join the Facebook community. If you just go to Facebook, type in Melon Community, I'll definitely accept you in, and love to have you, because it's great. I enjoy talking to everybody in there and just seeing the different ways, different perspectives. And it's cool because everybody helps each other out. Everybody's so nice. So join the Melon community. Gonna have some more cool stuff planned for you guys. I'm gonna do some giveaways, interviews, and new topics. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. I'm gonna recap everything. But if you have questions before I get off here, let me know. So I'm gonna recap everything really quickly. And while I'm recapping, just type in your questions. I'll answer that, and then I'll let you guys get to y'all wonderful weekend. But I want to make sure, everybody's getting these tips to have a smooth, engaged stream, and also try the Trovo. I think it's going to be good. So to keep your stream going smooth, efficiently, and so you could just kind of build it up, make sure you have an outline of some sort. Again, it doesn't have to be paragraphs and a full outline, just a sketch of where you want to go, a direction. What assets are you going to use? Is it video? Is it screen shares? Is it pictures? Make sure you include all of that. If you're having a guest, make sure they're aware of these things. You test audio, video, and you understand how to add people in, and everybody understands the workflow, because that's going to keep everything going smooth on camera. Because once you're live, right? So you're here. So you want this to go as smooth as possible. Some people have a fear of messing up on camera, which I had the same thing. Now I don't care, because I realize most people don't think about it like that. I feel like when you're by yourself streaming, that you kind of overthink things. Well, at least I do. I'm like, oh, well, maybe somebody noticed I messed up, or I messed up on this word. But most people, they understand that you're human, you're live, you're just trying to communicate, and mess ups and mistakes are going to happen, right? And so people don't even think about, oh, you messed up on a word, or nobody's thinking about it. They just want to hear what you got to say and what you got to offer. So don't overthink it. Don't be hard on yourself. Doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is consistency, getting those reps up, and showing up for your community and building that community out. That's to me, the importance of live streaming. And to me, Melon makes it great, because with the chat, you can interact. The chat widget, which is something I need to set up on this account, where you could put the actual chat overlay on the screen. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I need to think about that, if I'm going to do that for the show, because I have to cut up clips, and I don't know if I want the chat in the clips. I have to think about that. But if you're streaming and you like to see the chat, because sometimes to me the chat is great part of content, right? I like when I'm watching people play games, looking at the chat and seeing what the chat is saying. To me, that adds to the experience. Yeah. And is it anything else? Try Trovo. The integrations and is super easy. The setup is live, and it adds another place for you just to get your content out there. So try that out. And again, if you want to see how to set it up, it's on our blog if you go to Trovo Support, and all the ways that you need to set it up, super easy, couple clicks, and you're in there. So if it's no more questions, I'm gonna let you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Please create some content. You guys got a message, get it out to the world, showcase your stuff. And if you need any help, any support at melonapp.com. You can reach us on all socials. We're here to help. If you have any questions, think of anything, let us know. I'll be responding. See you next week. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.